back, guys, to the SSL here, down here live at the Nexon Arena. I am Valdez. Joined with me is Wolf. We just saw Biel smack around Truss a little bit, his former teammate, rather. And we're about to go into a ZvZ here.
That's right. Now, Zerg vs. Zerg is a very different matchup here in Legacy of the Void. I mean, Zerg vs. Zerg has always been a kind of a crazy matchup. It's all about, like, greed. Greed is the sin in Zerg vs. Zerg. It's like, were you too greedy and you die to an attack? Or was he being greedy and you were being safe and then you die? It's a tough matchup, but Soulkey has returned to StarCraft 2. He kind of took a break, he played some Brood War, and now he's back, and he's got a long list of achievements in StarCraft 2. He's got a great Brood War career as well. He's got like a million wins in Pro League. Like, I think he got the million win achievement.
And he actually defeated Biel in the winners match at the qualifier, so maybe part of the reason why Biel is not so happy he's going against one of these two guys. Solar here, known as the best Zerg so far in Legacy of the Void, looking to get some results to back up that claim, but he's been crushing the ladder, and we've just heard about, just custom matches and stuff. This guy has just been crushing everyone, man.
Yep, he's got a ton of tournament wins overseas under his belt. He won the Shoutcraft Invitational. He won DreamHack Stockholm, the AZO Open, I believe that one was. He won the Rocket Legacy of the Void Championship as well. These guys actually have quite a rivalry online. They played against each other in many online tournaments, and they actually go about equal with each other. I was looking it up, and it's like every time it's like a best of three they play against each other. It's always a 2-1. These guys are really evenly matched in skill. I think most people would favor Solar going to this, but I feel like people should not underestimate Soulkey. He's really put like his whole heart and soul back into StarCraft 2 since joining TCM, and I think he's really given Legacy his all right now.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see what he can do here up against Solar. But guys, we're going to go into the interview VCR right now.
게임이 좀 저한테는 좀 쉬운 느낌이에요. 공원산 넘어오면서 약간 게임이 저한테 좀 잘 맞아서 저는 되게 자신 있어요.
삼성 갤럭시 서그 강민수입니다. 제가 지금 성적을 잘 내고 있고 분위기도 최근에 좀 좋은 것 같아서 좀 군단의 심장보다는 훨씬 자신 있는 것 같아요.
잘하는 것 같기도 하고 못하는 것 같기도 하고 약간 애매한 느낌이거든요.
제가 그래도 김민철 선수보다 일단 지금 동호회전 때 쌓은 커리어가 높아서 되게 할만할 것 같긴 한데 동급전이다 보니까 좀 확실히 변수가 많은 것 같아요.
아직 강민 선수는 어리니까 기회가 많잖아요. 저는 지금 다시 복귀하고 시간이 많이 없기 때문에 제가 이기고 싶거든요. 조졌으면 좋겠어요.
우승도 해보셨고 지금까지 많은 영광들 누셨는데 저도 이제 한번 해볼 때가 되지 않았나 싶습니다.
목표는 언제나 우승이고
목표는 일단 최소 4강이고요. 그래서 제가 운이 좋으면 충분히 우승할 수 있을 것 같아요.
이번에는 기대를 저버리지 않고 기대에 좀 부응할 수 있게 좋은 성적 내지 할 테니까 많이 응원해 주셨으면 좋겠습니다.
공원 때 그래도 제가 지금 잘하고 있고 더 잘할 수 있을 것 같아요. 지금보다. 그래도 이번에는 꼭 제가 기대에 부응할 수 있도록 하겠습니다.
So there you have it, guys. The interviews with both Solar and Soulkey. Soulkey saying that he feels like Legacy is actually a bit easy, in fact, and it kind of matches with his style, so he's very confident coming into these games.
Yeah, and we saw Soulkey actually was really interesting. Said like basically, games just come naturally to me. Like games are easy for me, and so I think when he said that, he was kind of referring to him taking a break from StarCraft 2, but easily returning to form. And here are our Korean commentators, very handsome.
Yeah.
And actually, just a little bit of trivia for you guys. The guy in the center, our new commentator for StarLeague, actually used to commentate the GSL when I first came to Korea, like years ago.
Yeah, and he did a bunch of commercials over there as well.
Yeah.
That's when I saw him a bit. I also used to see him in the early days of GSL. But that guy's still around. He's still doing StarCraft. The passion is still real.
And
that guy.
For that guy too, they're taking a shot at him again. I think they're actually talking about him. His ID is Koshin, which means Colossus in Korean. It's the unit name. But this guy actually started his career basically in StarCraft, then left for a while and actually became quite famous in Korea for voice acting and other things. And now he's like coming back to StarCraft, which is really cool in Legacy. And he says he's been playing a lot. He enjoys a lot. He's just the host, he's not like the analyst or anything, but he's a really great guy. He's quite well known in Korea.
Yeah, very friendly guy. I've only gotten to talk to him like maybe once or twice. We are going to go into Soulkey versus Solar here. The map is going to be Dusk Towers. And of course, with any mirror matchup, the map is not going to have a huge say in the way it goes down. Of course, there's the backdoor base, so you could decide to be a bit more passive, macro-y, sit back and defend, that kind of style.
All right, well, looks like we're jumping into this game right now. Dusk Towers, game number 1, Soulkey versus Solar in the Zerg versus Zerg.
So here we go, starting off set number 1 of match 4 between these two Zergs. Up at the top right in the blue was Solar.
And to the bottom left in red is Soulkey. Now, Soulkey, for those of you guys who know, I feel like Solar is much more well-known right now than Soulkey for most newer StarCraft fans who didn't follow since StarCraft 1, so I'll give you a little bit of info about Soulkey. Soulkey was one of the best Zergs on Wungjin Stars back in Brood War and ended up moving to SKT when he switched to StarCraft 2 as Wungjin actually disbanded and no longer existed after like that hybrid Pro League season that nobody likes to talk about. But
we all like to ignore and pretend it didn't happen. Yeah.
He got his 100th win, or maybe 200th, I can't even remember, in Pro League in our first real like clean StarCraft. Or actually, no, it was our second one. It was the first season of Pro League for StarCraft 2 is the one with EGTL, so it doesn't feel clean to me. But then we had 2 seasons after that, right? And the new season's going to be happening soon. Stop asking about it, guys. I can't tell you anything about it yet, but it's coming out soon. But anyway, Soulkey then took a break from StarCraft 2 and returned to streaming Brood War, and it was making a lot of money doing that. It's a common thing for ex-pros to do. Was now back and is doing really, really well in online tournaments and had a pretty tough road in the qualifiers. And is going up against a Baneling Nest here.
Yeah, talking a bit about these builds, it looked like a very early gas into pool, probably at around 14. Just gonna slowly build up these lings. He's totally went around all of these scouting overlords of Soulkey, so Soulkey really doesn't know what Solar's doing right now.
Now, 13 pool Baneling is like the new 10 pool Baneling, and it's a much more high economy attack because you have more drones in this expansion. You have more workers, and the units are just going to keep coming, and this is going to be tough for Soulkey to defend.
Well, Soulkey has spotted it now. He's pulled back all of his drones into the main, and he's making a spine crawler here as well as his own Baneling Nest, which he's definitely going to need.
He's not going to have speed. That's a really scary thing. Solar should be able to outmaneuver him here. The Queens need to get on the ramp before that happens. Here come the Lings trapping the Queen here, and the Banelings can go straight through the middle. Going to wipe all those Lings off the map. The second Queen will fall here as well, and this is a disaster. The spine is finished. Actually, no, it's not. It's just barely not.
It's just barely not, and the Lings are going to get us around here. Going to take it out. That one Baneling is going to explode, but there's no defense now.
There's
not
nothing.
even one Queen. Some Lings are popping out, but there's just nothing to defend this.
Yeah, he's just going to make a Baneling here and end the game. Warrior fans here super excited. She's a big Solar fan, I guess, or, just watching this occur. And that is basically going to be game, guys. The Baneling is going to hit all these drones. Okay, everything I say just stops happening.
Really, really weak over here. Coming in right now, the Baneling is on the chase, trying to get one hit. 4 drones are going to go down.
Soulkey does have his own Banelings up now. The nest finished, and he's sneaked the Banelings to the bottom. Good position on this Queen. Looks like he's actually going to survive this.
Yeah, that's going to be an insane hold, but he is sustaining a lot of damage in the meantime.
Yeah, his lack of, Ling speed is really starting to hurt him here. He's finally got it.
Now, one Baneling actually going to get a decent trade there with about 4 of Solar's Lings. A lot of very weak drones. 10 have gone down. Right now it's 13 to 10, and there's still some Lings in the base.
Yep, and he just needs to keep making Banelings here and doing good trades with them. That was like 1 for 2, which is not the best. Now, one of the big keys here is even though Soulkey has like a 3-drone deficit, he has more larvae. And he has Queens out now, and he's going to have the defender's advantage. The rush distance on this map, even though it's a 2-player map, is actually quite long. So Oh, even going to lose these Banes, too. Oh, my God, if he gets that one. Oh, that was so close.
Just barely going to get out here, but it's only one Bane. He needs to get a really big hit right now.
Oh, look at this, trying to get the connect here with the Bane. It doesn't happen. That was some luck there from Solar to actually be able to sneak through that, because Soulkey was setting up a really nice trap there for the Baneling to hit, but these attacks are getting flimsier and flimsier, weaker and weaker, and he's all-inning. He is not transitioning.
Yeah, you kind of has to from this point. The Banelings are coming through. Not much for them to hit. They don't want to explode on that Queen. He's waiting for that money shot. Ooh, a really big hit there by Soulkey.
Yeah, I think actually Soulkey just holds from here.
Well, it's going to be very interesting. There's no...
Oh, he misclicked on the hatchery.
Yeah, that's a big mistake. Going to lose that Baneling. He's got one more. And the Lings over here on the other side of the map, easily going to be able to surround that one Queen in the main of Solar.
Oh, this is just going to be too much here. He's not going to be able to do much from here. The drones, obviously, he needs a micro against them and kill the last of these Lings, but no mining whatsoever.
He's getting 10 Lings out, so he should eventually be able to defend. But
yeah.
Soulkey has held.
Yeah, Soulkey only has 7 drones at home, actually. I'm not sure exactly when that went down to 7, but he's got like no economy himself, even though he has 2 hatcheries.
Yeah, he's got those 2 hatcheries. I think Solar from the back of this is going to continue to put on the pressure. Wants to end it. He knows he has the better economy, even though it is on one base. It's not going to matter. He's got that one base saturated compared to the small amount of drones that Soulkey has.
It's all about the Baneling hits here right now. That's how Soulkey can try to turn this game around with good Baneling hits.
Yeah, Soulkey desperately trying to get into the back here and maybe snipe some of these Banelings or try to get to the main base of Solar, but I just don't think it's going to work out.
Oh man, I've actually miscalled this game so many times. It's been such a close game. He's going to trap this Queen now. The Banelings though hit just one. The Lings get hit by that one Baneling.
Oh man, he had 7 drones. Now he's got. Well, he went up to 9 and now he's got 3.
5 drones remaining. And this is just a disaster here. One more Baneling morphing. I think he should be able to... Nope, that's it.
Yep,
GG. I was going to say maybe live for like 1 more second and then fall apart.
That's exactly what happened. Solar taking the win there with a very nice, very aggressive play there on that 2-player map. This coming out 1-0 in the series so far.
This is what ZvZ is to me, Valdez, in Legacy, is like... There's all sorts of different aggression you can do. There's all sorts of different builds you can choose. And every game becomes a different game. Like every ZvZ game is like its own different ecosystem. It's its own different set of, it has its own different set of rules and principles, because how much damage did the attack do? How much greed did you do? Which tech did you choose? Like, did we get past Roach Ravager? Like, are we going Lurkers? But we can't go too many Lurkers because that also is kind of weak against certain other builds that you can do. And it's this game of... It's like the knife fight that we always talk about, you know, in the past. But what happens after the knife fight? Because people don't die in the knife fight; they just get bloody.
They get knifed.
Yeah.
That's
then what
happens in the knife fight.
You know, what happens next is a series of insanely complicated and difficult decisions plus control.
Yeah. Well, this next map is going to be pretty interesting. Probably won't see that kind of build out of either of these players on this map. Runes of Ceres, the biggest map we do have in the pool. Gigantic 4-player grassy green map.